Pulele Jones, I'm going to start with you. Give us a sense of where you are this afternoon, the fans that you're surrounded by, and what exactly they are expecting to do or really just experience ahead of that match.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, before I made my way here, I did get a Springbok flag as well, just to show my solidarity and support for the boys in France. But what I can tell you is that yesterday marked, it was an anniversary since Springboks beat England in Paris in 2007 when they won the World Cup as well. And at this very same venue, would you know that back in 2019 there was a hive of activities as well in support of the Springboks, who did win the World Cup as well. I'm just going to ask my colleague Teddy to show you what we're seeing today at the Loftus Stadium. It's going to be packed. It's going to be thrilling. This place will be captivated by almost hundreds of fans who are going to be making their way here today. And we are expecting nothing but a really great vibe as well. Would you know that today will be the Springboks playing versus England? We're waiting to see whether this will be a very exciting game as well. And as we're here today, you can see that people are coming here to support the boys ahead of the semi-final. The All Blacks did beat Argentina yesterday, but of course people are here to support the Springboks as they make their way to the final as well. And we're expecting nothing but a lot of activities taking place in this particular area.
No, absolutely. It looks like it's building up as people there get quite excited ahead of the game. And we appreciate you waving that Springbok flag high for us this afternoon, Pulele Jones. You were at another area before I move on to Kevin Brunt, who's in Cape Town earlier on today. What was the vibe there like? And really, are there any other places that those who still are unsure of where to go in Pretoria or Joburg for this evening, Pule?
Well, yes, what I can tell you is that most of these venues really will be packed tonight. South Africans really love their game as well. And maybe I will try to speak to some of the supporters who are here today, if they can give us time and chat to us as well. Hi guys, how are you doing? I just want to get a sense of how you're feeling today ahead of the semi-finals.
Excited. Yeah, super excited for the Bokke. I think it's going to be a bit worse than 32-12 this time.
Predict the score for us.
42-28 to the Boks.
You think we'll go to the final?
100%.
All right, Arsenal, Jersey, Gunners, I hope you guys win today, but just tell us. What do you think ahead of today's semi-final?
Yeah, I think similar. I think hopefully it's written in the stars, New Zealand final, so we'll see how it goes, yeah.
Do you anticipate the Springboks and All Blacks in the final? Do you think we'll take that as well?
Yeah, no, I think as I said, I think it's written in the stars. I think the old foe, I think they call them, eh? So yeah, I think we'll get there.
Cups. Yeah. Battle for
What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
I think we're winning 27-3.
27-3, but
that's okay. Those are the predictions coming from the fans tonight. Obviously, we're waiting to see what will happen today. Sawubona, why need depressed kanje? Kulman depressed. What do you guys think of today?
We're thinking about the Bokkes.
Yeah. So win namhlanje.
Yeah, win, obvious. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Of course, we're waiting to see what will happen today, Robert. But what I can tell you is that the English team obviously would want some score to settle when they play the Springboks today. We've beaten them before in the previous World Cup, and therefore they will be wanting to make sure that they come in very hard. But of course, the Springboks have been quite excellent tactically and strategically as to how they face their opponents. You would have seen that heated match against France, who are the hosts as well. But we're waiting to see what will happen. Many are predicting the All Blacks versus the Springboks in the final. It will be interesting to see how the semi-finals unfolds tonight.
What is your prediction, Bule, before I let you go? You were asking some of the participants there at that viewing park. What's your prediction?
Well, look, what I can tell you is that last week really was a very heated game against France as well. Look, we cannot go into the game undermining the opponents, But I do see a final whereby the All Blacks will be playing the Springboks as well. It will be the first time a captain of the Springboks lifts the trophy 2 times as well. Siya Kolisi is waiting for that great moment as to him lifting the trophy 2 times as well. So it will be interesting really to see how this game unfolds tonight. When we spoke to the management here, they're expecting hundreds of those living in the capital city to make their way here tonight to watch the semi-final.
Thank you very much, Pulele Chuti-Jones in Pretoria, predicting that the final will be between the All Blacks and the Springboks. Kevin Brunt in Cape Town, what are people predicting? Is it going to be the All Blacks and the Springboks, or is England going to bring more than just their A game? Are people a little bit nervous about tonight's game?
Very good afternoon to you, Rafiwa. We're here outside in Mitchell's Plain at the Premium Sports Bar, where there's already a hive of activity. A lot of the fans have already taken up their positions here. My understanding is that people reserved their spots already very early on to make sure that they'll be able to watch the game here at the venue behind me. So there's a lot of excitement. There's already some people inside watching some of the sporting activities that's already on show here, eagerly awaiting also for the Boks to run out against the English Roses later this evening, and a lot of support coming from the Western Cape Town backing the Boks. And we've heard throughout the course of the day why a lot of people feel that it's important to give their support for the Springbok team. We very early on spoke to a young girl who also indicated what she gets up to ahead of a Springbok game. We know that there's a bit of a ritual that people get involved in as they head into the specific game. But I'm joined by supporters here. Let's get a sense from them as to what their feelings are in terms of how tonight's game against the Roses will go.
Well, I think we have a very good chance of going through. England hasn't been performing. They were lucky to get through to the next round. We will beat them tonight. We will definitely beat them tonight.
Any players that you particularly feel will, take us through to victory tonight, that you'll be looking to and cheering on in the hope of securing victory for us?
I believe in Mani. Mani Lebok is going to steer us through. We have excellent players throughout the team. Our wingers, they're going to be brilliant tonight. They're going to win the game for us. Our speed will do it for us.
Just lastly, do you want to venture into any score predictions?
Well, I believe it's going to be 2019 for the Springboks.
Thank you very much for your sentiments. I'm also joined by Felicity Karelse. She's a vendor here on the outside of this facility. Felicity, thank you so much for speaking to us. I see that you're also dressed in Springbok attire. Can you just tell me, who do you support in the Springbok squad and what's your feeling ahead of tonight's game?
I'm a full-blown Springbok supporter and I'm excited for tonight. My blood is green. We can't wait for tonight.
Any score predictions from your side?
34-0.
34-0. Thank you very much for that. Rafiwa, you've heard now from 2 supporters out here at the Premium Sports Bar in Westridge in Mitchell's Plain, giving us a sentiment of why they're backing the Boks and feeling that they will be victorious, even coming back from France with that trophy. Now, earlier today, we also spoke to some of the Boks supporters here in Plumstead, as well as in Kailsriver. Just take a listen to what they told us with regard to their support for the Boks.
In a moment, Kevin Brunt, while we get those voices that you got to speak to earlier. In the meantime, let's take you over to Paris, where the match is actually happening. Percy Young is there for us. We beat them in 2007. Percy, we beat them in 2019. Is it a sure win for us this time around?
Yes, good afternoon. Bonjour, Rafiwa, here from the capital city of France. I can tell you, Rafiwa, it's a rather wet and rather cold Paris that we are facing at the moment. But the mood here in Paris is a mood of 2 nations that are preparing for a massive clash today. Rafiwa, I find it very funny. I managed to find an Australian establishment that is hosting hundreds of South Africans here. And I'm going to ask my colleague just to show you that it's a couple of Frenchmen making boerewors rolls to all these South Africans. I'm finding it difficult to do my work with all the smell of the boerewors here being prepared here for the South Africans. I feel like at home, yeah, I even feel a bit overdressed in this establishment here. But all of these people, they are preparing for tonight's clash, obviously. It's the Springboks facing against England, and the gees is starting here in the establishment. I just want to show some shots of some of these South Africans here. I'm not exactly sure what this gentleman is wearing, but he looks like a different version of Faf de Klerk. Can I just ask you, it's very cold in Paris at the moment, yet this is the only piece of cloth you're wearing. Just going to ask that.
I've got the other cloth here by me. I've got my flag to keep me warm. And brandy coat to keep me warm. Yes. And I got a bag there with clothes. But this is really my attire for the day. I'm going to get pneumonia for the Bokke. I'll do it for the Bokke. Pneumonia for the Bokke. I will take it.
Can I ask you just briefly? Tonight, a massive clash tonight. Yeah. South Africa versus England, the old foes. Oh, yeah. What do you think is going to happen tonight?
A win. I think it's a win. 8 points, 9 points.
29-15. Yeah. 29-15.
It's going to be not an easy win, but it's going to be a win. I believe it. You believe it. You believe it. We all fucking believe it.
Can I ask you, can I ask you, sir? We are live here at ENC, so please just bear with the language, please. Rassie Erasmus says they can't afford to underestimate this side. What do you think?
You can't. It's a semi-final. You've got to go. It's all or nothing. Right? You have to take it full on, and you have to go for the game. And it doesn't matter who you go into the semi-final with. You have to give up 100%. And you have to. Yeah, definitely. So I think honestly, the guys aren't going to be. They're not going to be big-headed. They're going to go in there. They're going to get the job done, and that's it. We're going to go. It's a final.
Thank you so much. Let's just move through the establishment and see what's happening around here. People are having a festival. It's gees here in this venue at the moment. As my colleague Bokke Masilo is showing you the shots. I just want to talk to some of these fans over here. Just briefly. I believe you guys are from South Africa. Ek gaan vinnig in Afrikaans praat. Hoe voel julle oor vanaand se wedstryd?
Baie positief, Percy. Ons baie positief. Ons is op opwaartse kurwe. Ek dink ons is reg vir hulle hoor.
2007, 2019, hulle kan ons nie vat hier nie, Percy.
Kan nie.
Rassie Erasmus sê julle kan nie die Engelse span onderskat nie.
Dis wat hy sê, maar ek dink hy sê dit meer vir 'n media ding. Hy wil nie kokkie voorkom nie. So ek dink is meer hy weet ons gaan wen. En dis maar dit. Hy's humble. Ja. In your head, Rassie, say
Thank you so much. Rafiwa, these fans saying they believe the Springboks will win. I'm just moving through the establishment here. It's only South Africans that we're seeing here. Let me just get another thought here. Sir, tonight, England versus South Africa. England, Rassie believes England have got some beef with this Springbok side. What are your thoughts ahead of tonight's match though?
What beef? There's no beef. The Bokke by 20, yes.
The England coach says they've grown over the past 4 years and they've got a score to settle. Do you think they are a much better side, or do you think it's going to be a walk in the park for the Springboks?
Different team. 4 years ago, different team. Right. The whole England setup has changed. So Bokke by 20.
Thank you so much.
We don't have beef, we have Bokke bologna.
It's a great atmosphere. It's a great atmosphere here. Rafiwa, I can tell you we are an establishment where all these fans are part of a group called the Braai Army. And our Honourable Minister, Zizi Kodo, is also expected this afternoon at this venue. He is here to come and greet and interact with some of these fans here. There's close on 10,000 fans expected tonight at this venue. It is expected that the England fans will obviously overshadow the venue tonight. As you can see, more fans in the South African attire there. They are all confident ahead of the match tonight at Stade de France. Around about 80,000 fans expected tonight at this venue. But as we move, you can even hear South African music being played in this venue. It is a typical South African atmosphere here. It's braaivors, It is South Africans drinking, enjoying themselves ahead of that big clash. All these fans are excited ahead of the match. They believe the Springboks will once again beat this England side. Let's just listen to some of the sounds of the South Africans here.
Oh, Percy, you must be having the time of your life. I'm sitting all the way here, and I can feel that hiss that you talk about that is being experienced by the fans there in Paris. And I must just say, that South African flag onesie seems like quite the investment. If you have some euros left over, Percy, after all these festivities, may I ask that you purchase one for me? And before I move on to Theo, who's standing by, Percy, what is your prediction? You've gone around asking all the other fans, but I'm dying to know what you think the Springboks are going to do this evening.
Just like the Queen have done in spreading his suits all over the world, and the King. We also want people to know the culture, so we have to sell them so that they know we exist and they know exactly more about that. They have a memory to remember when everything is gone, when all the games are finished.
Even Zimbabwe is supporting us too, you know. I mean, look at him, he's here from Zim, selling me Zulu
headgears.
Can I just ask you, what type of merchandise are you selling here, and are people buying it here in Paris?
I normally sell the Zulu headgears, which they call umkwele, and then because it's unique, and also it's showcasing the culture in Europe. So most of the proof. Yes, then this is the proof. Many people are interested in this one, so that they can see the culture, the Zulu culture. So we are selling the Zulu culture to the world.
Thank you so much. As I was saying, Rofiwa, we're also expecting the Minister Zizi Koda later this afternoon to come and have a bit of interaction with some of the fans in this establishment. Even the ambassador here in Paris, he'll come through and have interactions with these fans. We see some New Zealand fans. In fact, let's just have some interactions with some of these New Zealand fans. Excuse me, sir, can I just come through? Let me just ask you, obviously New Zealand beat Argentina last night. Can I just ask you, a New Zealander in a pub dominated by South African fans, what did you make of last night's performance against Argentina? We're live on ENC.
Oh, it was a hell of a game. Wasn't quite as clinical, I don't think, as we'd like to be, but hey, look, 80 minutes of football ahead of us and a fourth cup to hold up.
As a finalist, who would you love to see in the final next weekend?
Of course, Bokke. Of course. It's of course it's got to be. Nobody likes the English. If you're going to win a World Cup, you want to do it against the best. So up against the Bokke is the way to go.
Can I ask you, I'm not sure who you guys support. Is it Springboks or New Zealand?
Bokke, Boeta, Bokke. En net vandag, gister het ons hulle gesupport. Vandag support ons die Bokke, want ons is Bokke supporters. En volgende week support ons net die Bokke. Ons nie vriende vir daai 80 minute nie. Ja, na drink ons weer saam.
Het gaan nie 'n maklike taak vanaand in Engeland wees nie.
Boeta, dit gaan nie. Ek hoop net Rassie is te slim vir hulle. Dis die belangrikste. En ons het Flip hierso. Flip's New Zealander. Sy ouers het hom genoem na Flip van der Merwe. Hy lyk dieselfde.
I support the All Blacks and anyone that plays against England.
Let's just wrap it up. Before we wrap it up, I've seen some England supporters over here as well, and I have to get their reaction before we hand over it back to you, Rofiwa. It's rather noisy here in this establishment, but it's obviously South Africans preparing for that big clash. Let me just get some English fans here before we wrap up. Gentlemen, I have to talk to you. I have to chat to you guys. A couple of Englishmen in an establishment filled with Springboks. This must be a daunting prospect for you guys.
Not at all. Swing low! I think it's going to be a close game. England by 5!
Can I ask you, Steve Borthwick, he says the team has grown over the past 4 years. It's not going to be the same team that lost against the Springboks in 2019. Is that the sentiment you share?
I agree. I think Borthwick's got them on the same page. We're going to push on tonight. We're going to power through, and faith is in Farrell.
Ask him about cricket. Can I ask you, where do you think the match will be won tonight? Will it be amongst the forwards, or do you think the backline?
I think the bomb squad is the key.
England has a bomb squad?
No, South Africa has a bomb squad.
Owen Farrell. He's confident this past week. He says they've grown, they've prepared well to beat the Springboks. Are they capable of doing that tonight?
Is England capable of winning tonight? 100% yes.
Thank you so much. Well, Rufiwa, as you can see, it's a South African atmosphere with a few Englishmen, New Zealanders here. It's all happening here ahead of tonight's match at 9 o'clock tonight. It's a big clash. It is the Springboks versus England tonight. All happening at Stade de Francais at around about 9 o'clock tonight. Rufiwa?
Stade de Francais indeed, Percy. Thank you very much for that. Definitely feeling that energy. Let's head over to Theo Mashele, who's also at one of the fan parks this afternoon. Theo, many people saying that South Africa is going to be winning this one for sure, beating England for a third time in a World Cup setting. Where are you and what are they saying there on the ground?
Rofiwa, I can tell you now that if there's anything I'm nervous about is if we are overconfident this time as South Africans, because that is exactly what everybody on the ground has been saying to me as well. The fact that they feel like we are definitely taking this one. They don't see England as a threat at all. In fact, they thought France was more of a threat than England is. So I am asking myself how exactly we are going to be doing there. I must say a bit of an irony there with our colleague Mr. Percival Young there in Paris smelling some boerewors, and I'm not smelling some boerewors, and I'm right here on home soil in South Africa. But I am at the Pirates Rugby Cup. I'm just going to give you a sense of what is happening here. There are a couple of fans who are sitting there watching the cricket at the moment. I'm going to go over to some of them and just find out what their expectations are in terms of the match tonight. Hi guys. Good. Tonight, the match between the Springboks and England. What are your guys' expectations? I want to start with this gentleman.
Perfect. First of all, good afternoon, my fellow South Africans. Good to be at Pirates Rugby Club. Major fixture coming tonight. Personally, I think the way England are going to score points is through penalties, because they obviously have Owen Farrell, and he's very good at kicking for poles. It's going to be a very tight fixture, but I got the Boks getting it by like minimum 9 points. That's my prediction. Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people are quite confident that the Boks stand a good chance against England. Would you say, do you share the same sentiments?
Yes, I do, but I hope with Russia and Jacques, they've implemented the right mentality into the Boks squad, because obviously that win against the French has put the Boks like a high. So we just need to keep their feet grounded, and hopefully they come through with the major physicality that they'll bring within the squad today and make South Africa proud, as they always do.
Well, thank you, sir. That was quite an elaborate explanation from this gentleman over here. He seems to have a straightforward kind of prediction there, where he thinks there's going to be some penalties, and he knows exactly which team is strong in that sense. I'm going to come to you, sir. What are your predictions?
Good afternoon. I think that the Boks have it in the bag. They just need to be complacent, not give England too much leeway. I think we mustn't give too many penalties away, because Farrell, like you said, Farrell's going to try to put them behind the posts. But otherwise, I back the boys.
Yeah.
And so do the rest of the South Africans.
Yeah. All right, awesome news there. I feel like South Africans are clear in the sense that they are all backing the Boks, and they all feel confident that the Boks are going to win. There's another gentleman over here that I'm going to go to. Sir, the match tonight with the Boks versus England, what are your predictions?
Hey, listen, I think it may be a repeat of the Rugby World Cup final, 36-12, so yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully the same as that. I mean, we're beating them in the cricket currently, so let's hope for the double.
Yeah. Are you saying that the Springboks are going to repeat history here and bring back the World Cup?
I mean, it's going to be a tough match against New Zealand, but we beat them easily in the warm-up matches, so let's hope for next week, if we make it, let's hope for us to bring it back again.
Yeah. You seem to have crossed over already to us facing New Zealand. Are you not seeing England in the way at all?
Hey, listen, I back the boys, so yeah, obviously.
All right. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it seems like a lot of South Africans here are quite confident about this match, and especially against England. It seems like people do not think that England stands a chance at all. The gentleman over there was just saying that he's already crossed over to us facing New Zealand, actually, according to his predictions, which is the confidence that I was talking about. Before I go over to you, Rafiwa, I just want to check with this gentleman over here. How do you feel, sir, about the match tonight?
I feel good. Really good, yeah.
Are you confident that we will beat England?
Very confident.
Yeah. And you, ma'am?
110%.
Yeah.
We're going to beat them way more than we did last time. And then this time I'm expecting the Bokke to give us a back. And we're waiting for that holiday from the president. So we better win.
Okay, that's a good one. Can you give a message to the Bokke and say, go Bokke?
Go Bokke, go Bokke. Don't disappoint us. Bring back the cup home. We're waiting for you. We're waiting for you.
Go Bokke! Thank you. I mean, you can see, Rafiwa, that the spirits are quite high. People are quite confident. And South Africans are quite confident about the match that is going to take place tonight. Everybody seems to just think that we are already in the finals. And I am really hoping that that is going to be the case. I mean, this is a beautiful spirit, and I would love it to be celebrating tonight. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the outcome is going to be. But for now, I'm also going to give in my spirit to the Bokkers all the way there and say, go Bokke.
Go Bokke indeed. Theo, thank you very much for that. And it would be quite the shame to walk away from these fan parks disappointed and brokenhearted. So the Springboks, we are all rooting for you this evening, and of course hoping that Siya Kolisi will be lifting up that World Cup for a second time round as a captain of the Springboks.